Hi, my name is Shakira Shamsu from Tech Talent Africa, and welcome to the Untold story of Africa's talent. And today's podcast, we're basically dedicating it to dispelling the myths about Africa and the brilliant minds driving global innovation from the heart of Africa. In today's episode, we will dive into the powerful story of Africa's tech ecosystem, exploring its untapped potential and the talent that is changing the world. We have a fantastic panel today, and as you can see on my right, I have I have the CEO himself, the man, the myth, and that is Mr. Brian Amanya, the CEO of Tubayo Marketplace. Thank you for coming.
Yeah, so happy to be here.
Okay, and on my left, I have Colin Atuhaire, and he is an expert. He is an alchemist, the tech alchemist in the industry, who will surely give us expert conversations. Please, you're welcome. Okay, okay, let's dive into it. Before we start, I wanted to just find out, first, Brian, being a CEO, thriving in the African tech startup and, being the founder and innovator, and someone who's shaping the future of tech across the continent. So I would like to know, what are those myths that you would like to dispel about African tech talent and innovation about Africa that, the world is not aware of?
That's an interesting question. And some of these myths, I believe them myself.
Okay.
Until I got in there and I noticed the African talent is as smart as any person out there in the world. And given the right opportunity, they can also deliver great products.
Okay.
Maybe the other myth could be we don't have the right infrastructure to develop great talent.
Okay.
But and also infrastructure investments to develop the right talent. But we've seen this with DeepSync.
Yes.
Where I think it really works in the favor of African talent, to improvise, to be resourceful, to put out an equally exciting product for the global markets.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And Colin, do you have any take on that? You don't have any take on that? Okay. From your perspective as the tech alchemist, basically, why do these myths persist? What can we do to combat them?
Okay, so the thing with the myth is the person that dispels it controls the narrative.
Okay.
I believe as African professionals, we need to get out there and talk about these things, like talk about ourselves so that people can know what Africans are actually doing out there. If you look at Nigeria, the reason their startups thrive is because of Tech Cabal. Tech Cabal are simply telling stories about their startups. So all the myths about Nigerian startups were dispelled. Now they're getting all the funding and things like that. If you look at very, very young tech professionals that are taking TikTok by storm, case in point, Janice Nkanja. I think you guys have seen her video where she was talking about policy and how the USAID funding left. Yeah. And she's getting all this recognition. So people are starting to see a different kind of Africa. Okay. You get? So I think it's just us, like the professionals need to come out and talk more about what they're actually doing so that we can see these myths leave. Because the reason why, like I said, the person who controls the narrative is the person that speaks about it. We end up believing these things. Yeah. When a startup founder says, "Oh boy, it's hard to get a developer," you go into the developer market thinking that. That's why people go to Upwork and hire other people instead. Yeah. So that's what I think.
So basically putting ourselves out there.
Exactly.
Scene, okay, on a professional level as well. Okay. Now let's just shift the conversation to an incredible power and the potential of Africa's tech talent. Brian, in your experience, what makes African tech talent unique, and how is this talent helping shape global innovation?
First, African tech talent is young, vibrant. They're very excited about the technologies. They have a wide scope of challenges and opportunities to solve for. So their perspective is rich. And I think there's nowhere in the world where you get talent as exciting as the African talent right now. So, yeah.
Okay.
I would think they're young, vibrant, and ready to make a mark on the world stage.
Okay, Colin, your take?
Yeah, so me, I think African talent is the most resourceful and the most scrappy talent. Why? Because we've grown up with less resources given to us, given our infrastructure and all that.
Yeah.
But we are very scrappy. Like we're the kind of people that you give all, like you lay out all your problems and will find the easiest solution to achieve the business success and things like that. So we're very, very resourceful.
All right. Okay. Colin, with your expertise and a role in, connecting African talent with global companies, you've been out there. What trends are you seeing in the terms of global companies tapping into Africa's tech talent? And how is your platform or anything that you're doing right now helping facilitate these connections? Like, what are you looking at in the future, or what are you seeing as a future very bright for us in that area?
Could you repeat the first part?
The first part. With your expertise and your role in connecting basically with different global businesses, with your expertise and all, what trends are you seeing in terms of global companies tapping into Africa's tech talent?
Okay, so allow me to answer your question with a question. Today morning, I was thinking about how everyone's talking about AI, right? And everyone's saying, like, there's this thing everyone says, you won't be replaced by AI, you'll be replaced by a person that uses AI, but no one really talks about how they use AI.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess this is me transferring the question over to Brian. At Tubayo, how are you guys using AI? That's one thing I would love to understand, because AI is one of those things that are trending, and I believe can propel us into a new age of work. Because we've seen what DeepSeek has done, and by seeing how AI is changing the world. So I'm curious to know how you guys are using AI, either at an individual level, at a team-based level, at the business level.
So as founder of Tubayo, definitely this opportunity is an exciting one for me. And first, because everyone in the world is almost at the starting line. No one has set miles, ahead of anyone. So for me, I saw that as an opportunity. If there's anything for an African startup, company, or talent to grab on right now, is where everyone in the world is just starting. Yeah, so that was the first opportunity. And when I saw that, I decided that moving forward, we are going to have an AI-led strategy. And really, these are just choices to use AI to win. How we are using it right now, for the users, our customer support, and really these are like the basic agent support ideas. The customer support is now AI. You can just type in, if you want to book, you can use AI to book for you, recommend the most appropriate listing for you to book. But also internally, we are optimizing our processes. We have developed agents to really optimize the onboarding. From WhatsApp, you can list even without going to the app, and you'll have your listing done. And there's just so much more we are doing. We are doing it with finance. So really, we're just cutting on the time it was taking a normal person to do a task. And if you ask me if this is the future, definitely. Anything that optimizes, anything that reduces cost is definitely the future.
Okay, so I was reading the World Economic Forum report, the 2025 report for jobs, and I noticed that they were big on skilling talents, in like skilling and preparing them for the age of AI. I wanted to understand how you're doing that for your team. Yeah.
No, definitely. So I think humans are just going to get onto more exciting things to do. And with AI, and you see, the more knowledge you get, it widens the scope of even the things you can do. Think about like how we transition from the informal agriculture subsistence sector into the formal, where people would go to libraries and get knowledge, and then start up like ventures with just knowledge. Now with AI, you can do so much. I think there's just going to be a lot more opportunity for everyone. I'll quote Elon Musk. He has called it it's going to be an era of abundance. With so much information, there's just so much to do in this world. We've not discovered even a fraction of it. We are still on just one planet, but with AI, it's going to accelerate all of that. What we're doing internally at Tubayo, first, it's just an AI strategy. Every department is leading with AI as a way to execute. How are they doing their work? You will not come to me and you want to keep using the things we're doing probably last year or 2 years ago. I just want to know how you want to optimize all the work, how you want to use only 5 guys to get 1,000 people's work done. So they're reading a lot, they are keeping up to date with all the research and the updates that are coming up. And we are subscribing to all these AI tools and solutions, really to just get familiar and also encouraging just the boldness to innovate around AI. Yeah. We are yet to announce some of our agents that we are putting out in the market. I think that's first week of March. And also, if you get onto the platform, you will notice there's some agents you can use to just go about the platform.
Okay, exciting times we're living in. Over to you, Shamsu.
Okay. What other innovations do you have within the marketplace, within the Tubayo marketplace apart? Because I've been seeing exciting things that you put up a platform where you can access all sorts of things. I'm a person who likes real estate, so I was looking at the whole Airbnb stuff. So I'm like, hey, this guy wants to take out the Airbnb app or something.
Why not?
Yeah, why not? Be innovative, get the people within the land. Yeah.
If you can be more efficient, use local knowledge, we have to win the local market. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, so you're actually also getting the locals to know that, you know what, you don't have to be on this other app, but we have something here for you, created in Uganda, made in Uganda. When it says buy Uganda, build Uganda situation, but yes. So I was looking at that and I was like, oh, this is interesting. So how did you come about with this whole idea of adding the whole housing?
And to give you context, so I'm an economist, and getting into tech, I was just inspired by the kind of impact one can create with tools and the internet and these platforms. And I think 2019 is when we launched the Tubayo platform. Tubayo is a digital marketplace for Africa. We have both travel and commerce. Under travel, we've built a product similar to Airbnb. We have the homes, experiences, and events. This is the easiest way for any traveler around Africa to book and discover furnished homes, to book exciting experiences for an hour, a day, or a week, and to also book and buy tickets to exciting events. And on the side of commerce, we've set up a Tubayo store. This is a Shopify version for Africa. It's really to digitize businesses and create instant storefronts for them to benefit from the global commerce. That's really what Tubayo is about.
And I find that very interesting because some time back, just right before COVID, people were not really aware of digital marketing and what. There were very few platforms, and that was on Facebook. And there were places whereby you would pay a certain fee to advertise and what. And then straight after COVID, of course, the shops closing down and what, and people really had to jump onto the wave. The online wave of digital marketing and all. And I think it opened up a whole target market for other people as well. You find someone downtown, they're online, they're selling their stuff, they're putting up, flash sales.
They distributed more. And we even had more businesses coming on board now. Everyone could start a business at their home.
Yes. So if you have socks and you want to sell them, please reach out to Tubayo. But then also, if you have more than socks, stop using your WhatsApp status, please stretch out. Do you have any other questions for Brian that you would like to? Okay, before we finish, also let me see. What's the next thing? What do you think is the next thing? Because I know there's a whole craze about AI. What's the next big thing? Because you said you're looking at the jobs that are going to be cut, the jobs that are going to be created, how people need to upskill. What do you think is the next best thing for Africa when it comes to tech?
You want to go first?
So at the root of my professional personality is what they call Afrocentrism.
Okay.
right? So how do we solve problems for Africa first? This was inspired by a talk we had a couple of years back, where I was in the interviewer seat as well, and I was thinking about how we could solve problems for Africa. So I believe that the next thing would be having more agents or AI trained on African data. That's what we need right now. That's why Luganda GPT was trending and things like that. If we can control the narrative from an Afrocentric lens, right? So solving the problems that we have here with the data that we have here using the AI proficiency that is you get. Yeah. So I believe taking control of the data is the next thing, and then having these strategies laid out and then just executing them. Yeah.
And to add on that, because it's factual, in the next 20 years, 1 in 3 people will be African, which means African interests will be priority. The kind of products they consume, whether it's music or whatever it is, that means African products and services will take center stage because 1 in 3 people are African. So I also think the future is about solving and creating African-centric products and services. But to be more, to really think about the future in a very simple way, we have to get onto the trends. And the trends, like the AI trend, is really how to get things done easily. But something I would really encourage, and this is something I learned from Jeff Bezos, where when asked, what do you predict for the future? He says you want to bet on things that are going to be true, even in the future. And some of those things could be Africans going to demand for better solutions in anything. It could be logistics, could be delivery. Today things take long because maybe our GPS and mapping is still lacking. So those are things that African talent can really innovate around. Today our commerce, there's very few products being bought globally from the African market. That is something that is going to grow because 1 in 3 are going to be African, and so solutions around commerce have to be built. So if we think about those things that are not going to change, even 10 years from now, will people demand a low price? They will definitely demand low prices compared to today. I think we can now use the AI and this whole wave, the excitement for African talent to create such solutions.
Okay. Okay. When it comes to tech talents, and we've been looking tech talent Africa in particular, where I work. When you look at people being very skilled, but then unable to tap into the global markets and all, and I'm just wondering what is the way forward when it comes to getting there. Like apart from us creating a platform and connecting to the global businesses, what else would you tell the African talent to do?
Yeah, I think solutions like Tech Talent platform are really the way to do it, because unlike Uganda, and most parts of Africa, where it's a bit informal to just do work, talents like this help organize the profession for you. One, you'll find why it's difficult to even tap into global opportunities. Small things like payments. You can't get paid. Someone can't send money from... you can't get paid, or you lose half the money. The other is just networking. How do you identify those opportunities? You're not in the UK, you're not in the US. So platforms like this that have invested in like the UK and the US, they have agents, can help, bring those opportunities closer. Yes.
Colin, you better take on that.
Okay, so personally, I feel like a couple of weeks back, I was researching about how AI would impact work. Right? What's the next human? Right? What's the next definition of work? What's work going to be in the next 5 years? And as I was thinking about it, I realized there are a lot of skills that are not given as much like they're not given as much light, for lack of a better word. So if you notice, the thing with AI is it's an automation tool, right? Being an automation tool, a lot of the things that we've been doing that are monotonous are going away, and we've seen this happen, right? Another thing is knowledge becomes commoditized, right? But then, what's the trick? Like, how do I survive in this AI age? So I found a term called specific knowledge, right? It's a term coined by a guy called Naval Ravikant. So this term is just knowledge that cannot be automated, right? And when you read about the knowledge that cannot be automated, it's most of the skills that we dropped. Things as simple as networking, things as simple as communication. So I believe training people in that sense, like in the skills that are going to thrive in the new age, right? We talk about creativity, but it's just a buzzword. We talk about critical thinking, things like that, very simple things like that. Because now we have all this information, but now you need to be able to question it, to find where it came from. That's critical thinking, you get? Yeah. So there are those skills that people are overlooking, but they haven't realized those are skills that are going to save us in the age of AI. So you leave all the monotony, all that goes to AI, and then you take over as a human by embracing the human skills, right? That's why you find that in this age, the person that networks more has more opportunities. He may not necessarily be the most talented, but because they have that skill, you get what I'm saying? Yeah. And then things like helping people revisit the fundamentals, right? This is how Elon has been able to build companies. He goes back to first principles. He questions everything. And with an understanding of fundamentals, then brews creativity. So we see more innovation, right? So now I know pools are built they're built this way, or phones are built this way. What if we tried this? What if we tried this? That's innovation. That's creativity. So I believe as Tech Talent Africa, as any person that is trying to position African talent up there, we need to be ahead of the curve. How? So we get all these AI tools, understand how they work, fit them into our work, right? And then focus on being more human. Yeah, that's what I think.
It's a brilliant answer. Okay, I have nothing to come back from that. Brian, being an inspiration for young African professionals, what advice would you give to those looking into work with like global companies? And how they should make their mark in the tech world?
I think having, and I still do work with so many of them, I see they lack a boldness. So my advice is just, and this was also said by Steve Jobs, that the work we see out there was created by people who are, not smarter than us, who are just like, each one of us.
Human, yeah.
Yeah, so I think to everyone, just be bold and believe you have whatever it takes to do it, put in the work, research, connect with people. Opportunities are there for the bold ones, those who feel they deserve them. Yeah.
Music?
It's pretty much the same thing. Just get out there. Honestly, there's no opportunity that's going to find you in your basement. Yeah, I think it's just about looking at look at where the future is. Look at the opportunities that are available and try to position yourself, right? In and part of positioning is talking about what you do. That's all. Yeah.
Let me see. What advice do you have? Let me see. Okay, yes. So before we wrap it up, sorry.
Maybe I can add on the other. So once you're bold and given the opportunity,
yes, please,
make sure you show results.
That's true.
And when you show results, more is given to you. And that's like a parable from the Bible, the parable of the talents, where the master gives deserving talents to these individuals, and when he goes and returns, he asks for what they had done with the talents, and there's one who had 5, he had multiplied to 10. The other of 2 had 4, and the one of 1 had kept it. So if you keep your talent, if you sit on your creativity, on your ideas, they will be taken away. Soon you will see people develop them in other countries. And Africa has exciting ideas and innovations. Look at mobile money. It's a brilliant technology, inspiring the whole world. So be bold and show results.
Okay. As we wrap it up, I would like us to remember that surely tech talent in Africa, like African tech tech talent is a force to be reckoned with. Let's keep celebrating basically the innovations. Let's encourage people in tech. Let's, I don't know, keep teaching. You know, you get to learn something, teach the next person. You get given something, give it out. Yeah. So I would like to give you. I think my God, my English today. I'd like to say thank you for coming in and honoring our invite as a guest. Anything else that you'd want to say to the viewers?
Download the Atuhaire app. Check out Tech Talent as well. But one thing I can also say, and this is really a quote from Abraham Lincoln, former president of the U.S., and it's something I've been moving by, really to guide on that boldness, yeah? So one of his soldiers walks to him and tells him, Mr. President, we are going to win the war because God is on our side. And Abraham Lincoln turned to the soldier and said to him, my concern is not whether God is on our side. My concern is, are we on God's side? So if there's any worry as a talent in Africa that you have, really don't be worried because God is on your side. So just be bold and let's take on the global opportunities.
Alan?
Well, I think we that's a very I've been thinking about it. It's a very it's something, it's very hard to top, but I think you guys should go follow Tech Talent on all socials, and we're cooking up some really good stuff for you guys. Yeah, so just be ready for the opportunity. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you again. Thank you for having me.
I send greetings to my mom, my dad, my brothers, the team, and everyone here. Thank you.
It's a wrap.